Her smile finally breaks. All of a sudden, she turns around and drops to her knees. Ah! She clutches her head with both hands. She screams as loudly as she can. I'm so shocked that I don't know how to react. She looks over her shoulder and flashes me one more weak smile before turning around and running off. Sayori! Left helplessly standing in front of my house. Why am I feeling so horrible about this? There's nothing more that I could have done. The most I could do is support Sayori through her feelings and help her on the path that's right. But I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more, something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things get back to the way they were. I'm going to give it everything I got. Sayori will always be my dearest friend, and I'll do whatever it takes to put a smile on her face every day. Oh my gosh. God, like, that was heavy. Oh. Okay. That was heavy. I felt that. That was sad. That hurt my heart. Okay, it's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori, but Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. I managed to carry all the cupcakes by myself by carefully stacking 2 trays. Natsuki is already texting up a storm, but I can't respond thanks to my hands being full. Finally, I don't know why that. Anyways, funny enough. I hate that. Anyway, funny enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Natsuki at the festival. Oh man, I am a player! But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. Ella! You're the first one here! Thanks for being early. That's funny, I thought at least Yuri would have been here by now. Monica is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be... Why is the music off? Is this fine? Is this normal? There's no music. Is this how the game is now? But I've upset Sayori. The music isn't here. They must be the ones she's prepared that all poems were performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like, and I submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised that you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on days this important, she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday. And I suddenly feel awful knowing that she's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking, but I should have gone to wake her up after all. You should take a little responsibility for her. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know? Exchange? Oh my god, my nose. Monica, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president after all. I'm always watching. But I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? About how I basically turned her down her confession? That makes me really seem like the bad guy here, but I'm the one who knows what's best for her, right? Please, you don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. I'm always watching. Huh? Hanukkah is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a little chill down my spine after her telling me she's always watching. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desk. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognize Natsuki's and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our own practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poems. It's different from the one she's practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Do I read this out loud? Do I read all of this out loud? Get out of my head, 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 get out of my head. Get out of my head. Nate, get out of my head. Get out of my head. Get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished, it just stops moving. So she didn't, I don't think she took it well. What is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Huh? What's wrong? Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else that Sayori's written, but more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to go get Sayori, so, well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself, Monica calls out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried to be a little bit harder. I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal, but at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs and what I want to give her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I open the door and let myself in. Sayori? He really is a heavy sleeper. Why are you playing that? Because that's how I feel right now. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house? Isn't that more something a boyfriend would do? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? She really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this is real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit just yesterday. I told her I'd be there for her. I told her I know what's best and that everything will be okay. Then why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Turning her down her confession? That has to have been what pushed her over the edge. Her agonizing scream still echoes in my ears. Why did I do that to her when she needed me the most? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault! Oh, my swarming thoughts keeping telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and gave her what I know she wanted out of a relationship, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend, someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I can do to bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I didn't save right before. So I actually can't, unless I want to restart going to the very beginning of the stream. I forgot this game breaks the fourth wall a lot. Yeah, it's a far way back. I didn't see an autosave. There's not an autosave. Wow. I had only one chance and I wasn't careful enough. Yeah, she's dead. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed from me, and now I can never take it back. Never, 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 never. Wow, that was heavy. And, wait. Do I? Wait, is the point of the game to be a player as much as possible? And try to balance all of them? This is the game. I see an annoying girl running towards me in the distance. This is some sort of Groundhog's Day nonsense. My mind is blown. I can't believe this. That girl is... So they won't even say her name anymore because she's dead, so it's not like she's there. And good friend, you know, the kind of friend that you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk together to schools like this, but starting around high school. But she's gonna chase me after this, I feel. Oh, anyways. I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk. So I don't even talk to her anymore. What is this game? The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking around. Clubs really aren't that much of an interest for me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. It's not Sayori! It's not Sayori! What? It's Monica instead of Sayori! The story completely changed. Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect you to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has been. She smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in the class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me genuinely feels a little, what did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check that closet. You're in the debate club, right? Haha, about that. I actually quit the debate club. Oh, really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics about the major clubs, around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoyed and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Oh, wait, in that case, actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. This is PTSD. He has PTSD. He got PTSD. I'm calling it. He got PTSD, and so now he's like reliving this, and everything just feels wrong now. That's my idea. That's my theory. That's my theory. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there's only 3 of us so far. It's really hard for us to find new members or something. That sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not that boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. This is horrifying. This is actually horrifying. I had no idea. Wow. Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member is a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, by any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance that you could do me a big favor? I want to ask you to join, but if you could, at the very least, visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please. Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Awesome. You're really sweet. You know that? It's nothing really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. This is wild. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. So, last time we sold our soul for cupcakes. This time we sold our soul for that Monica lady. Monica! I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. So that was supposed to be Sayori, but it's gonna be Monica now. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Huh? A guest? Seriously? You brought a boy? Why do I call the atmosphere? Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyways, welcome to the club. All words escaped me in the situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. So, let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, and is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual, and this is Yuri, the vice president. No! Oh my god, this is weird! It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet the both of you. So I ran into Ella in a classroom, and he decided to come check out the club. Hello, darkness, isn't that great? I've come to talk to you. Wait, Monica? Didn't I just tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So, I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Nay, my honor. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting all their effort into starting something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. She reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have really worked hard to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places the teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom?
Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book?
I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you.
That's...
Insulted, Yuri looks. Yoda, I speak like now.
I meant that, you know.
I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be my pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea.
But...
Baby Yoda. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief.
So, what kind of things do you like to read?
Well, considering how little I've read in the past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet.
Not much of a reader, I guess.
Oh, well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking, seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Let's see.
She traces the rim of her cup. We have to do this like last time. We have to do this like last time. It's a whole bit. It's a whole bit.
My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive.
Damn it. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading, caressing her BB-8 cup just like this. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the ways her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. Yeah, people. Hoping you dropped the cup, I almost did. I felt like I was like... I mean, why would you want me to drop BB-8? It's BB-8. Jeez. Rude.
But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop, just like this story? Oops! Fourth wall. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately.
Oh, I read a horror book once. Winnie the Pooh, am I right? I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality.
Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment.
Ugh, I hate horror.
Oh, is that?
Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over at me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about the cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looks like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. I give that back. Fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Oh, well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki's averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet, huh? It's a shame you're lacking confidence. What a jerk thing to say.
I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exploring your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart.
Do you have a writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. I feel like there was some dialogue missing there. It's almost like Sayori being gone. Everything just feels wrong. Aww. Even the music feels off. Am I crazy? The music feels off. Not this part, but there was a part that felt distorted. I mean, I thought it was a good idea.
Well, I think you're right, Monika. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides that, we all have a new member. This seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well?
Hold on, there's still one problem. Huh? What's that? Now that we've reached the most important part of the topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monika may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made that any decision. I still have other clubs to look at. And then I lose my train of thought. All three girls are staring back at me with dejected eyes. Staring menacingly. But
I'm sorry, I thought.
Aw. Huh? The girls exchange glances before Monika turns back at me. I guess I need to tell you the truth. Thing is, we don't have enough members to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. Ride the quadcycle now? There's not a 4 unicycles? Oh, 4 unicycles. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that? Yeah. It could be fun, right? I mean, it's not anime club, but literature, that's cool too.
It's